quote, major U.S. banks and securities firms are on pace to pay their employees about $140 billion this year, a record high that shows compensation is rebounding despite regulatory scrutiny of Wall Street's pay culture. Workers at 23 top investment banks, hedge funds, asset managers, and stock and commodities exchanges can expect to earn even more than they did the peak year of 2007, according to analysis by the Journal. With us now, CNBC's Jim Cramer, the host of Mad Money and the author of Jim Cramer's Getting Back to Even. You know, a lot of people don't think we ever get to even in this country, Jim. They feel that they love the way that people make money. They love a guy like Lee Iacocca or Steven Spielberg or anybody that makes something they can imagine actually being made, even if it's a service. They get it. What they don't understand is why people make billions of dollars off of money. Up on Wall Street, do these guys, and this is a fundamental question, do they add to American life, the people making money in hedge funds, on derivatives, on things we can't understand? Are they helping us or just making money off the top?
I worked at Goldman Sachs, and I can tell you unequivocally, not helping at all. Not one bit.
So why do we have all this money manipulation or money exponential money making based on what? Let me ask you this. What good does a derivative do? Securitizing of these mortgages and all that stuff, and all the money that's being made seems to be made in an ether that most of us don't even know where to get to or GPS our way to. What's going on?
Well, let me give you their side of things, first of all, because
sure,
I don't think
they're
not a tax on the system, but it's just that there is, I think it's fair to say that they shuffle paper really well. They take a cut of every deal, but the deals tend to be done by real companies that create things, and we need to have a croupier to make these cards travel. And what I think is a shame is that the croupier gets so much more than the people who are actually doing the business.
Yeah.
A derivative, yes, it's a bit like an insurance contract where I want to be able to insure my house from fire. But the problem with the derivative contracts is that I can insure your house for fire and then set it on fire and get paid.
Yeah, well, let me ask you about this question of money making. We thought that everybody was going down after this big crash almost last year at this time. And there was a sense that even the big guys suffered a bit. Everybody took about a 30-some% cut in their liquid assets. I think everybody from the person struggling with a 401k all the way to the top, everybody took a big loss. And everybody said, well, that's okay. Good. Everybody took a loss. And now we see people making $140 billion in, I know it's part of their income, but bonuses. And we're learning that Goldman has made $3 trillion or whatever, $3 billion. And this kind of money shocks people because this year, everybody over 65 watching this year is not getting a cost of living adjustment. No raise, period. So there's a sense of vast inequality out there. Your reaction as a guy who knows the business?
It is. These are obscene bonuses. I felt that the government should have done with all of the banks like it did with Citigroup, which is to get the average guy a share of Citi. Remember, the government owns 34% of Citigroup. Government is up billions of dollars. Why did the government not take stakes that it held on to with all these guys, given the fact that once the competitors got knocked out, the Goldmans, the Morgans, the JP Morgans could make a fortune? We should have had a stake in them that we could then return to the American people and create jobs with. But we let them make their money without being along for the ride. That was a mistake, Chris.
Is there any provision in TARP, that awfully named acronym from last year at this time, where they gave away the $700 billion? Is there any string in there where the government can pull now and say, give me back the money we lent? Are they going to get it back, the federal budget, the federal treasury?
I think that the Treasury Secretary, I think the president should be demanding that all of these banks raise money that haven't returned it. Remember, Goldman did return it in JP Morgan.
Right.
But to raise the money in the public markets, the stock market's going up, we pierce 10,000, and say, you give us our money back right now or we're going to raise the interest. Because every bank's making a lot of money here, Chris, and I don't want to hear that, oh, it's still a fragile time. They all say that. The American people deserve to cash in on these banks, and we're not doing it. We're not pressing the banks for our own cut.
Okay, let's talk about macroeconomics now. The average person out there is worried about the unemployment rate. It's up there knocking up against 10%. Just at the time, we're going over 10,000 in the Dow. That drives a lot of people crazy. The Dow's going over 10. Unemployment looks like it's going over 10. Why the wrong way, Corrigan? Why the market coming back and unemployment still rising?
We are seeing a lot of upticks in retail sales. Auto sales were actually better than we thought. Are
we going to have a good holiday? Are we going to have a good, is it going to be Black Friday like they said in Philly on the day after Thanksgiving? Are they going to make money or not?
You bet. Yeah, automakers will be jammed. We are going to see a very good holiday season. September was very strong. October was extremely strong. We're going to surprise. America will surprise each other. We are going to have a very strong holiday season. And that's across the board, whether it be from Macy's or Home Depot or Saks or Target or Family Dollar. We're spending, and we actually have some money, and we're starting to feel a little more secure.
Will that augur well for a reduction in the unemployment rate next year? Because that's the only measure most of us in the news business and most people think about. The unemployment rate's at 9.8. Will it go above 10? Will it drop below 8 or 7 by next election? How's that for a political question?
We're not
going to be down below 8 or 7 by next October.
We're not creating enough jobs. That will not happen. We will not get that low. We will.
So next Halloween's going to be bad for the Dems.
I think that unless they create some real jobs, a $2.2 trillion infrastructure bill would be a lot better than we've got. Chris, the Democrats will get hurt badly because we're not creating jobs. There is prosperity for a small group of people, not enough to go around, and there's no job creation. It is a profitable period for many companies, and it's not creating any jobs.
Where'd the $800 billion go in the stimulus bill?
Well, I think a lot of it went to state and local governments. A lot of it went to people who actually have the kind of tenure that most workers would like, people who work for governments. And
exactly
I think
where it went. It went to pay off so that mayors wouldn't go broke and they wouldn't have to go with layoffs. Thank you. It went to pay off old bills. Thank you, Jim. It didn't create new jobs. I don't smell construction.
Not at all.
Thank you, sir. It's great. Have a nice weekend. Jim Cramer. It's great having you on.